Hey everybody, it's Funny. Everyone's going to hope you're doing well. So today is going to be a bit of a different episode. It's going to be probably even more directionless than usual. It's not about a specific module. It's not about the EuroTrack. It's kind of about the state of the rack, the state of everything, and getting prepared for an upcoming live show. I'm going to talk a little bit and touch on big changes to my EuroTrack. If the views are any indication, people seem to really like the videos that aren't focused on any particular module. So today, with the help of my darling Clementine, we are going to get into it and talk about where everything's at. So no jam to start this one out because we are going to jam a lot throughout it. So what I want to touch on first, though, is I've done a lot of swapping around our house of the layout of things. I've swapped. I have two desks, basically, like one for work and one for the synthesizers, and I've swapped them. So now I am where the work desk is, where the computer was, and where Clementine's box remains. Basically, this gives me a little more space, both to move outward, but also desk space for some other things going on. Now, having said that, there is currently some things are still in transition, including this massive pile of cables, because I need to either screw in or fasten some way my cable holder. So still figuring that part of it out. I don't know if I really want to. This desk is really special to me, so I don't know if I want to drill into it or not, but I just might. Other big changes that are happening are the blue box, which was sort of, I don't know, I want to say like a centerpiece of the EuroTrack, at least when it comes to making comparisons of this box here. And if you weren't familiar with that video, I'll just show you right here. Sorry about the pile of cables. Like I said, it is on the move. Sort of the mainstay of the EuroTrack was, in a way, the blue box. However, when I was shooting that video on the comparing digital analog oscillators, I noticed after I posted it, I'm like, there's a bunch of popping in it. And then I was going back to other videos, and hopefully you won't do this now and notice, but I didn't notice it at the time of editing or posting or reviewing it, so it's really subtle in context. But there's a bunch of popping in the blue box, and I think the reason is because the palette 104 actually doesn't provide quite enough 5-volt power. I'm hoping, at least, because it does drive enough to like turn it on, keep it on. I put the screen brightness as low as possible just so it drains as little power as possible, and that still is the case in this pod that I've moved it to. But that's kind of what set off a whole chain of things. Now, like I said, I'm playing that show next month, and I want to sort of get things ready for that and in line. And on that note, I also think that's nice because I can move my sequencer into the EuroTrack. I'm going to just call the palette the EuroTrack going forward. So if you hear me reference the EuroTrack, it is the palette that you see in front of you. I mean, yeah, obviously I have to bring a second case, but it also frees up space to fit the Hermod Plus in the EuroTrack, and then I can also have the Data Bender and Ghost, and I actually really like where this is at currently. Now, having said that, when it comes to the live show that I am sort of preparing for when I'm making this video, I'm not going to have things routed the way they are routed at this moment. I'm really happy with how this case is set up, where I can basically have a dedicated PSU. Hopefully that can reduce noise. We'll see how things sound in post, but basically have my XLR to EuroRack adapter, and then my mixing. I have a buffered mult in case I need to do that for anything, basically to fill 2 HP, but keeps things isolated basically and solves all the issues I had with the blue box desktop, and basically is like the same form factor essentially. But having said that, in the live set that I'm going to play, I'm not going to use the XLR input, I don't think. I'm going to use this to sort of cross fade between 3 sources, possibly 4. I'm thinking 3 right now though, which is the MPC Live 1. I'll show you where that is pointed right now. It's just up there. Forgive all of this mess. It's still in transition, but I also feel like I need to get in the rhythm of making videos again, because I haven't made a video in like 5 days, which if you follow the channel, that's an insane gap for me. So I want to use this in that live setting to crossfade between the MPC Live. I'm probably going to bring the ALM 6U52 HP, which for today's video, its stand-in will kind of be the Mega Rack. Mega Rack's not going anywhere. It's still going to stay here, but just to contextualize that, that's going to be the source that's probably going to be crossfading between those things and then output into the EuroTrack. However, for today, for this video, because you need to hear me yap, I'm just taking the output of everything, mixing it elsewhere, and then mixing in my voice, and then using USB-C to send direct to the iPad. Now, blue box video will happen eventually. I haven't had enough time to really sit down and drill down all of the issues with the effects returns and everything, so I'm happy with it at the moment. I'm stoked to use it in that live set, and hopefully all of my noise issues, my USB-C issues, will be resolved by moving it to this case. But hey, we're going to find out with this video. So with all of that being said, I think we should play some stuff. So now I'm going to tilt up. Everyone say bye to Clementine. Maybe she'll chomp on some cables later. But I'm going to tilt this up here, and forgive the spaghetti mess, but that is kind of the reality of modular, at least in my mind. So what we have going on here, if you are more interested in specifics of what's going on in this rack, I would check out that full video on the EuroTrack. Like I said, a couple of things have changed, but for the most part, it does remain basically the same. I'm using Ectocore for tap tempo, again, because one, I want to use it, two, it doesn't take external clock for whatever reason, and it gives me an opportunity to tap tempo. So I'm trying to avoid like hard syncing everything. I want to just be able to tap the Ectocore as like my source. Everything can be kind of loose that way. Like the data bender doesn't have to be like perfect on clock. As long as it's like close, it should sound fine, should sound good. That being said, I've loaded up a project from my last Vancouver Synth Meet jam. So if we hit play on that, I've got this all patched up into stuff on the Mega Rack. This will probably be that ALM 52 HP case when the time comes, but for now, just a couple drums and the Qubit Surface. And I think in the show, basically where my head is at, I'm going to be like, I love my DJ filters. You know, I overuse the crap out of them. I have a master compressor on the Performer, but I want to be tapping in the Ectocore here so that everything on this case is synced up to the Hermod, basically. And then I have all these different patches for all these different sequences. Let's go transition over to another one. If you watch that video, these voices will need some tweaking as well, but I just wanted to demonstrate like the workflow of it. If you watch that video from that Synth Meet performance, you might recognize some of these melodies. And because I'm clocked up, I think I can use some data bender here as well. And then Performer should be synced. Yeah. Get over to another sequence after we do 4 bars. Here we go. Yes. The thing. So I'm a huge Krista Bourgeois fan, and this is like my first time playing a proper set, basically. She always has like a way of just like slamming things at the right moments, and I'm so worried because my impulse is to just do an hour of this, right? But I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on when and where to use it and how much, because you gotta reserve some of that dog for like the end, you know? Get over to a different sequence. And again, if I'm gonna fill an hour, we can come in here and hit track. I'll mute some stuff on here. Yeah. So this is just basically how I plan to work my way through the whole set. Just kind of go sequence by sequence, unmuting things, giving it by piece, you know, Techno 101, right? Here comes big kicks. Bit redux on here. And then if Ectocore is synced up properly, which saying that in my head sounds about as dangerous as it gets, I should be able to come over here and crossfade, take off my bit reduction. Maybe we'll bring in more data bender to make it easier, and we'll crossfade over to Ectocore here. Yeah. Okay, I think that is a lesson, at least for now, that you don't trust the Ectocore to transition like that. It's got to be like, so options for transitioning here, and I don't want to try that live as I've just demonstrated. We'll just reverb. Tons on the Ghost. We can even freeze that. And then I can go over to the Ectocore. And then we'll bring out that reverb. Yeah. Sorry, the other thing. There we go. Distortion in. Yeah. That one, mute my kick, and then we'll bring in that reverb swell again. Transition over. Yes. I really like that. Yeah. Let's data bend. 1, 2, 3, kicks. Oh, if I can do that live, I'd be over. Will I be able to? We'll just have to see. I'll post some links in the description if you want it to live stream, so you don't have to be there in person, although I think you can if you want to, if you're in the Vancouver area. Come through. So the other piece that I have, let's go over the Ector chord again for a moment, do that transition. Effects in, data bender in. I think I can even freeze the data bender for fun, right? Let's do that. Yeah. And then we'll reverb that out and unfreeze it. Yeah. So I have the MPC live. I've been working on a couple new jams for this one, which I thought would be a fun thing to do. Will I regret that? We'll just have to see. But let's try that. And then I'm just going to transition over that without doing a proper transition. Data bender out. So this will be handled in the blue box come the live set. So reverb in. And I want tap tempo on the Ector chord to sync that up. Yeah. And then I have a bunch of sequences in this project. I'll load up another one. Here we go into the other sequence. It's just not very different, but here we go. Just a little bit. Yeah. Bit reduction. Oh, this will be good. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah. And then I have a third sequence, which will transition over to now. High pass. And go. Yeah. Oh, I'm really happy with that. And then I have different projects loaded up on the MPC as well, which, you know, I have an hour to kill. I'm going to have time to swap over. We'll just crossfade over into the Ector core, go to a different sample. And then while that's running, doing its thing, we'll slice it up a little bit differently. I can come over into my MPC now. Hopefully you can see that in the corner. Basically, forgive the cameras. Forgive the camera angles, rather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, over to sequence 1, play, start. High pass coming out. Bring it in some data bender. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, they're not super smooth transitions, but, you know, it's modular and friends, basically. Bring in some distortion. Bring in some data bender, tapping my tempo to sync it up. Bit reduction. And I think the other sequence is a little different. Data bender out. Let it just kind of do its own natural thing. High pass out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I also want to do is I have XY effects up here for some stuttering and whatnot. Or this might be wave folder. Yep. Yeah. Love that. DJ stuff. And then the last piece here that I want to do in the live set, I'm going to load up some samples on the part of my Bitbox, and I can play my own songs. Now I'm going to do this. I don't actually have the rights to them on the YouTube front. Isn't that hilarious? But I can load up my own songs on here and mix them in. And I'm going to try and not do it too crazily. Mix in. This is a song of mine. Hopefully this is data bent enough to not tell which one. So we can go over to another one. And I was thinking of just mangling the crap out of this one. It's a nice vocal sample at the beginning. And then we can just loop it. Tapping that in. And then I also have effects aid stuff here I don't want to like really mangle. Yeah. Yeah. Beat, repeat. Just as many performance tools as I can basically grab is my idea. Let's go in and load up that other last project I have ready on the MPC. I won't leave dead air like that in the live set, but here comes mine. Tapping tempo, can I mix between the octa-core and the sample? Problem with octa-core too is you get these division things where like, okay, right, where I was like in halftime of what I was really where I should have been. But I think hopefully that will be some fun stuff to do on stage and not burn me brutally. But in saying that, I'm kind of getting the feeling that it might. So let's go back to our MPC and I'll do Freeze the Ghost. Got a huge reverb swell. And then fade back over to the MPC. Here it goes. Delay is out. Oh, it's this one. And I thought this one would be fun to just mangle like a super straightforward beat. High pass. And then I think on the XY effects, if you can see them here, I have wave folder going. So we're really thinking crescendo during the set, just the branch. I have other sequences. My only complaint with the MPC coming back to it is no easy way to jump between sequences. I would have kind of given up a lot of the things on the panel for that, I'd say. Because if I want to leave, or I have to leave my XY view to switch sequences, which I kind of like to stay in one, but yes. Tap tempo on the octa-core. I do not trust that on stage. I will, anyway, these are the things with the octa-core. I'm like, oh, I just want to use that, but getting that synced up will never happen. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Latching. Alright, I'm Tafony. Sorry for the random unfocused video, but I feel like it's a good opportunity to check in, and hope you're all doing well. Take care, like, comment, subscribe, do all the crap. The YouTube's always on my case about not promoting to you. And I'll see you in the next video.